Hello, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology. One a week, me and my best friend Alejo will join together and talking about astrology. This is a series suitable for beginner. So today we're going to take you into next level. I always say that because it's not very basic. Because this is part of consider in the traditional astrology would be something quite important. But to be honest, when I learned astrology in the modern astrology, we kind of ignore it. But now is the trend to bring them back. But first, I have to welcome Alejo. Sorry, Alejo.
It's okay.
Hello,
We're
Alejo.
really into the motion, into the matter of things. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. I just want to do a disclaimer that I'm not at home in case you're watching this weird background. I'm traveling. I'm actually near Aeropolis in Greece, which is the city of Ares, the city of Mars.
Ooh, cool. Next time you should. I think you probably already show it on Instagram, right?
Yes, I showed it on Instagram a little bit. Yeah.
So because we usually put this video on YouTube, if you haven't following Alejo on Instagram, his Instagram is the Liminal Cosmos, and recently he uploaded quite a lot the video clip about he traveling around in Greece, especially those secret places.
Yes.
And I was just
I don't know if
so
they're
jealous.
secret place, but important historical places. So I'm trying to make a connection with astrology, of course. Yes.
Yeah, lovely. So, okay, today what are we going to talk about, Alejo?
So today we're going to talk about dignities, the dignities of the planets.
Okay,
it's called.
Dignity of planet. In the traditional astrology, this is a very important part. I would think it's like super important. They are judge a planet whether they're auspicious or not according their dignity. So that's why they call dignity. If you don't have a dignity, you call it debility, and that's a kind of consider as maybe weakness or no power. I mean, in a traditional way to say that. As I mentioned before, when I started learning astrology, this hasn't been mentioned in the modern astrology textbook. Also, we kind of say, well, that is not a good idea to see something is better and something is not better. And even now today, we are trying not to think in that way, right, Alejo?
Yes, I think we're trying to see the idea of dignity as the planet maybe having to do less effort to achieve the things it wants, and the ability, the idea that maybe the planet has to do a little bit more effort, but then what they do becomes a little bit more developed, or what would be the word, like more authentic, more unique, something like that, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So in the traditional astrology, there is so many different ways to consider the planet that has dignity. But let's put on the modern astrology way. Usually, we're talking about two different sets of placement, like a planet and sign combination, are dignity. And I will share with you later what I find out on the social media. But that's beginning with the so-called rulership.
Okay, so the rulerships. So basically, the idea is each planet has rulership over a sign or two signs sometimes. So the idea is that they are the owner, they are the people in charge of that sign. So we need to think of the sign as a country, and the planet is the president or the king, whatever, of this country, is the leader, the leading figure of this country. Or sometimes I use the example of a house. Like, this is your house, you are the person responsible of your house. So even if you're in a different sign, you're in somebody else's house, this sign is your place. So you're still in charge of this sign. So, like in traditional astrology, what they say is a planet in rulership is like a man being in his own house. It's like the feeling you have when you're at your place, that you can do whatever you want, you're free, you're relaxed, you don't need to do anything extra.
So let me read out. So the sun is the ruler of Leo. The moon is the ruler of Cancer. And Mercury ruler two signs, Gemini and Virgo. Venus ruler Taurus and Libra. And Mars ruler Scorpio and Aries. Jupiter ruler Sagittarius and Pisces. Saturn ruler the Aquarius and the Capricorn. these are the traditional ruler. And then after that, we can add it up the modern planet, also called modern planet, or outer planet, like Uranus, ruler Aquarius, Neptune, ruler Pisces, and the Pluto, ruler Scorpio. So Aquarius considered has a two ruler planet, Saturn and the Uranus, and Pisces considered has a two planet, Jupiter and the Neptune, and then Scorpio considered has a Mars and Pluto, right?
Yes, exactly. So supposedly these planets, when they're in this house, in this signs, sorry, not house, in these signs, they feel life is easy for them. Supposedly. I think we can see some examples in some other episodes. Now we're just introducing the idea, but we can see some examples in some other episodes. And we will see that it's not always as happy as it sounds.
Yeah, true. Interestingly, well, in the traditional view, this is the best place or good place for this planet. So when Sun is in Leo, it's home. So it's for most of you in the traditional astrology, this is the best. But in the modern astrology, we are trying to every sign, planet in every sign has their own force, has their own virtue, even have their own power. They can exercise in a different way. That's more like a modern way. For example, like, English is not my mother tongue, but I can still speak English. That's it, So that is a little bit idea about I'm not doing the best, the things I'm most familiar with, but I can still do it. But someone who was born in England, in United States, in Canada, they can speak English without effort.
Exactly.
So that's a little bit different. So I think we have this idea. So the key of the planet in their ruler sign, they are feel comfortable, like you say, they feel comfortable, they are feel like home, so they can exercise their nature, what they are good for. Like Mars is good in fight, maybe, or protection. So when Mars in Aries or Mars in Scorpio, they are either good for fight or either good for protection.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. So should we move to another
exaltation?
type? Yeah, yes. Exaltation. This is a little bit more complicated. And even nowadays, let me just very quickly summarize, just show off that we still argue, we still argue where this come from. Some astrologers say the exaltation are even much older, is a system much older than the rulership. We don't want to go there, but it's very interesting. People say, why there's so many different things? Because, okay, one more thing, in the traditional astrology, this also consider another type of a rulership. We don't go there. We call it exaltation, and that is a different power. Alejo.
So I would say this is I would like to add that in traditional astrology, and some techniques of that we still use today, I would say we need to know which is the strongest planet. That's why we have this idea of planets being dignified or debilitated.
Yes.
So, like in horary astrology, you need to know which is the most powerful planet. So the exaltation is another form of dignity. It means that it's giving power to the planet. But it's the idea of being a guest of honor in somebody else's house. I think this is an image coming from William Lilly. I'm not sure if it was there, but I read it. But I read it somewhere. It's not my idea. I think it was William Lilly's. So you are a guest of honor in somebody else's house. So this means that you feel very well treated. You feel like you can, you feel important. But at the same time, you are somewhat restrained. It's not like you're at home. You need to behave because you're in someone else's house, and there's a certain behavior expected of you. And I always feel like planets in exaltations, they feel too proud of themselves, and sometimes this makes them not to flow as easy as in the rulerships. Like they get a little bit stuck on their own pride and what they can achieve. But it's still a dignity. It's giving power to the planet. Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, may I add another image? So as you say, the rulership, when planet in their rulership sign, for example, Mars in the Aries or Mars in the Scorpio, they are at home, so they are comfortable with things they do. But if the planet in their exaltation sign is like you are a high rank administrator or high rank officer at the office, that's another view. You are either it's not your home, but you are in an environment where you can work, and you're being honored, you're being respected, and you behave your best, because at work, I mean, well, we are freelancer. We still have to behave ourselves. We have to do our best. If not, our client will leave us. So everyone, when they work, they always exercise. They always doing their best side of them, best side of work to show other people I'm good at this.
Yes, fantastic. So should we say where the planets have the exaltation?
Yeah. Yep.
So this is not like the rulerships that they have two places of rulership. They only have one place of rulership.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of not the rulership of exaltation. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm a bit tired. Sorry. So the moon is exalted in Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that when the moon is in Taurus, well, I'm jumping into interpretation. Sorry, I'm gonna wait. This is for the next episode.
Okay.
The sun is exalted in Aries.
Yeah.
Then we have Venus is exalted in Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
Mars is exalted in Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which I think it's quite an interesting exaltation. And then Saturn is exalted in Libra.
Mm.
So this means that these planets, when they are in these houses, like Rod was saying, I really like this image, they do their best. They are the guest of honor, they are a higher rank in their work. So they will do the best they can do with what they are given.
One thing, and it's the most interesting, is the Mercury.
I didn't talk about Mercury.
Yeah,
sorry.
Because the Mercury, no. That's why. Because the Mercury is a tricky position. That's why we left it in this special position here.
Yes.
Mercury is exalted at its home in the Virgo, and the old astrologer is trying to give you explanation why. And I would say, you don't need know why, just use it. Mercury in the Virgo is the best position, and if you ask all the astrologer, they will find their own reason, from the symbolic meaning, from the ancient meaning, from this and that. But you know what, just remember, Mercury in Virgo is at the same time at its home, rulership, and also exaltation. And so if someone have the Mercury in Virgo, they are really would be really useful. I would say useful Mercury. I don't want to say powerful, because for modern meaning, that's what I mean. Because I mean, for a chart, for a personal chart, or even for maybe in hourly chart, maybe we'll talk about powerful. But in personal chart, a planet powerful or not is still in your chart. A planet good or not, you still have to face it. So I try to reduce the way to say powerful or not.
Yeah, I like the idea of resources. I think I learned this with Maria Blaquier. So I think she used to say this: a planet in dignity, so at home or as an exaltation, it has resources to do what they want. They have means to do what they want to achieve. So that's why it's more flowing. It's easier for them to achieve what they want.
Yeah. So this is like, usually if you have those dignity planet, as we mentioned, in the rulership or in the exaltation, my suggestion is use them, because this is the most useful, and where you have the resource in your chart. So try to check out, where is this planet located, in what house, and try to think about what you can use out of all this planet. Like, for example, if someone has a exaltation. Let's say Mercury in Virgo at this moment. Even for all of us, trying to be communicated carefully with the detail is the best things we can do, especially for someone who has Mercury in Virgo, because that's the detail and the order, adjusting the order of the information and try to analyze all the information you get. This is the strength of the Mercury in Virgo. Alejo?
Yeah. No, I have nothing else to add. I think it's a great, a great idea.
Yeah. So, but people will stop ask, but what if I don't have those? And what if I have so-called debility?
It's a mystery. Until next episode, it's a mystery.
Yes. I have just give you a guarantee that don't worry, you know what? I have a few planet debility and I'm still alive. So don't worry too much. It is fine as long. What I say is, it is a tool. You have powerful tool. You have like a least powerful tool. As long as you know how to use them, you will be fine. That's my suggestion.
And I want to say that I know a chart of somebody who, by what I know, did not have a very happy life. And I think she has 5 planets in dignity.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely not the key to success. It's what you do with it, exactly what you were saying. And what you're allowed to do with it, perhaps depending on the time you were born. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Well, thanks, Alejo, for joining us today, even you are traveling. And then, so next week, we are going to talk about debility planet. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.